What do you need, General?
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my baby.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. Is this a better time to talk?
Anytime, Preston.
Look, I know I put you in an almost impossible position when I asked you to lead the Minutemen. I didn't have any right to ask you to take that on. I guess I was kind of desperate at that point. I still don't know why you said yes. If it was for me, or for the Commonwealth, or for some other reason. It doesn't really matter. I just want you to know that I appreciate what you've done. If you look at where we were then to where we are now, I can hardly believe it.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. It's good to hear. Especially from you.
We make a good team, General. No doubt about that. I've taken up enough of your time. We'd better get back to it.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow, what a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is going to take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Hey, Sturgis.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah, ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Now you better answer if you want to keep those teeth.
No one talks to me like that.
Oh yeah?
Will you just leave them alone? We're not meant to start trouble with the locals.
Yeah? Well, how do we know this ain't the man we're looking for?
Because she's a woman, Malcolm.
God, you son of a ghoul. You got lucky this time, Wastelander. I better not see your face again.
Hey, all right. Another new client. Don't be shy now. No need to stay in the waiting room. Come sit your hip self down. Okay. How about some pie? Oh, yeah! I like that look. The kind that says, don't start trouble with me unless you're cruising for a bruising. I can tell you're a chick with her head on straight. The smart, sophisticated type who really understands the way of things.
Who the heck are you?
Whoa, slow your roll. Are you telling me you don't know who I am? You have the distinct pleasure of talking to the coolest cat in the Commonwealth. Everyone calls me the Ron. And you can too.
What do you do around here?
Me? I'm an information broker. I know who, what, and where. Whether you've got information or you need it, I'm the one you want to come see. I'm the Ron, baby.
I need to ask you something.
Ask away. Although I can't chat for too long, I'm expecting... Say... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the feeling you were sent here by Jake.
What do you know about him?
Oh, Jake? The hound dog's a good guy. One of my best clients. I'm not gonna pretend I understand all this ASAM stuff he's doing, but he's got his reasons, and the Commonwealth's better off for it. Oh yeah! So, did Jake send you or not?
That's why I'm here.
When you're right, baby! And 9 times out of 10, the Ron is usually right. Gotta say, I'm surprised to see Jake partner up with someone. Always struck me as the lone wolf kind of guy, you know? But any friend of Jake's is a friend of the Ron's. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. The reason I asked Jake back here was so I could share some information. But since you're his partner, I can tell you the info instead. For a price. After all, I'm running a business here.
What info are you talking about?
As Jake tells it, you and he are building up settlements together. Now that's cool and all. But ease off the gas for a second. Have you stopped to think about the people joining those settlements? After all, it's the people that make a town. And surely you want the best and brightest, right?
Well, yeah.
But you can't always tell who's hip just by looking. Or can you? You ever heard of a vigor tester? It's a kind of science machine cooked up by pre-war nerds. It can measure a person's attributes. Use it to scan someone, and it can tell if they're as strong as a deathclaw or as weak as a kitten, smart as an AI or as dumb as a mutant. Pretty rad! A useful device, especially for some cool cat wanting to find the cream of the crop. Just so happens the Ron knows where to find one of these vigor testers, and I'm willing to tell you where it is. However, there is a small matter of payment for this information. 300 caps. Sound fair?
Any chance I can get it for free?
Well, I suppose there'd be no harm in giving you a free sample of the comprehensive information resource that is the Ron. Oh yeah! First things first, take this folder. That's all the info the Ron could dig up on the Vigor tester. Now, according to the Ron's records, last known location of the tester was Vault 81. But dig this! That vault's still active, still has residents inside. So, common courtesy says, you knock first. If you can get inside, ask someone in charge about the tester. If it's still there, chances are they'd know. On a side note, if you're looking for able settlers, I got a few leads you might be interested in. Here, this info's on the house.
Thank you. I'm sure that will come in handy.
Ask, and you shall receive. Oh yeah! Since it appears Jake is busy, I suggest pursuing the vigor tester yourself. If you don't know where Vault 81 is, it's near the old Chestnut Hillock Reservoir. Just look for all the water. You can't miss it.
You interested in coming to work for me? I have a good spot. You could set up shop.
And leave my cool-as-ice broker gig? No way. If information is power, then I'm the most affluent man in the Commonwealth. And, no offense, but working for someone would really cramp that image. Oh yeah!
Thanks for your help.
You are more than welcome. And remember, if you got information to buy or information to sell, then you come see the coolest cat in the Commonwealth, the Ron!
Excuse me.
Ah, hello again. Is there anything I can help you with?
Can you take a look at these schematics?
Oh, goody. More junk from the Commonwealth for me to examine. All right, hand it over. I'll look. Oh, I know this device. It's the Vitamatic. The Vault's previous physician used it all the time. However, when Dr. Forsyth took over, he deemed the device too hazardous. Something about combustible tumors or some such. Is that why you're here? For the Vitamatic? If so, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Even if we no longer use the device, it's a rare piece of technology. And despite all you've done for us, I can't just hand it over to you.
Maybe we can reach an agreement.
Ever since we opened the vault, our safety has been of chief concern. We routinely send out security patrols. But recently, one such patrol has yet to report in. She's not yet overdue, but still, I'm concerned. A mercenary crew resides in the area she was sent to scout, and they've caused trouble for us before. What I'd ask is that you find our wayward patrol and bring her safely back to the vault.
Why are you so worried about her?
Because the individual sent on this patrol is my sister. Don't get me wrong, she's more than capable of fending for herself, but as an older brother, I worry.
You said there's already a crew of mercs there.
Yes. I won't pretend to understand the politics of the Commonwealth, but it seems mercenaries are a necessary evil. This particular group has tried to establish dealings with us in the past, but negotiations soured. Still, they periodically try to make contact, and just recently they seem to have built a makeshift camp, worryingly close to the vault.
Do you know where I can find her?
Yes. Her patrol route was between here and Forest Grove Marsh, so she's most likely still there. But with the mercenaries recently claiming that area, she may be in trouble. Hopefully I'm just worrying over nothing, but if you decide to do this, I'd advise caution.
Don't worry, I'll find her.
No, good! Once you've found our missing patrol, report back to me and the Vitamatic is yours. Good luck!
Work with us after something like that.
Every time I leave the vault, it's the same speech. The Commonwealth is dangerous. You can't trust outsiders. Don't eat the food out there. I know Cedric means well, but... I mean, I know what I'm doing. I am a trained member of Vault Security. I even promised I'd keep a stash of backup gear out here, in case something ever went wrong. I think it'll be safe by that old bridge. I doubt anyone will check there. Oh, well, I suppose I should head back inside. There's not much to report today. Oh! Well, hold on a second. It's those mercs again. It's the same ones who've been hanging around Forest Grove. They're doing something by the reservoir. Oh, I'm gonna follow them. Maybe I can find out what they're up to.
Oh, you're back. But I can't help but notice there's not a certain someone with you. What happened to the patrol?
They're dead. I'm sorry.
You're serious, aren't you? When she failed to report in, I knew something was wrong, but...
I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you.
No, it's not your fault. At least now we know what happened. Despite the circumstances, you did as much as you could. I and the rest of the Vault are grateful for your assistance. The Vitomatic is yours. You'll find it in the Vault's clinic. Dr. Forsyth has been informed you have permission to take it. Now, you'll have to excuse me. I need to update the Vault's records.
Uh-oh.
Engaging hostile target.
Don't mind the robot, it won't hurt you. Or at least, I don't think it will. I found it slumped in a corner in the Vault Tech building. Figure I'd repair it. Let it give me a hand bringing back all the stuff we found.
Please contact an authorized repair representative immediately.
I didn't quite get around to fixing its vocal processor. Maybe later. Right now we've got more important stuff to be getting on with. How'd things go with the Ron? You have anything interesting for us?
Good work on the robot. Very helpful.
Yeah, I thought so. It was real helpful in carrying everything back here. I'm thinking I'll keep it around. Use it to guard the place. Maybe teach it to play Blast Radius or something. But enough talk about the robot. I want to know how things went with the Ron. Did he have anything good for us?
Is everyone in the Commonwealth so goddamn crazy?
Yeah, the Ron's a character, all right. But after you get to know him, he's not so bad. So, what did the coolest cat in the Commonwealth have for us?
Take a look.
Hey, I've seen one of these before. It's a vigor tester, right? Lets you measure a person's qualities. How'd they make her so tiny? One I used was the size of a whole cabinet. Hey, hold still for a sec. Well, goddamn. I knew you were charming. But according to this thing, you're a regular Dean Domino.
Stop. You're making me blush.
Then my work here is done. The Ron really found this for us, did he? Not bad. This'll come in real useful. Help us assign the right people to work the right jobs. Here, you should keep hold of this. I think you'll put it to better use than me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Besides, I'm betting you had to jump through more than a few hoops in order to get the thing. Only right you get to keep it.
Do you have any news?
Well, as you can see, I've been busy. I've been organizing everything we brought back from the Vault Tech HQ.
including the most important thing, the Vault-Tec version of a comm hub, or Vault Hub, as I started calling it.
Cool name.
Thanks. I thought so too. Actually, thanks to Vault Hub, I've already made some progress starting repairs to the real thing. Turn it on and I'll show you what I mean. I'm sure you remember that noise. What you're hearing there are radio signals from all the nearby ASAMs. Turns out that's how the sensors and the hub connect with each other. Kind of obvious when you think about it. Don't know how I didn't realize sooner.
I could see that.
Now, if you listen carefully, you can probably tell something ain't right. Seems Vault-Tec had problems with their hub's receiver module. It can't establish a stable connection. But, watch what happens when we bypass the crappy receiver in the Vault Hub and instead patch in the far superior comm hub version. Now that sounds a whole lot better, don't it? Clearly the receiver from the comm hub works just fine. And that little demonstration is how we can use the Vault Hub to start testing components of the comm hub. Through trial and error, we can swap out parts, find what works and what doesn't, what we need to repair and what we need to replace. It'll be a slow process, but worth it in the end. I think we're finally on the road to getting a working comm hub, and more out of our ASAMs.
You've done good work.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, I was actually worried you might be losing confidence in me. Glad to know I was wrong. Oh, and by the way, thanks to that little patch job we just did, technically speaking, we're now connected to every ASAM sensor in the immediate area.
Oh, yeah?
This means we can now remotely send and receive data to any nearby ASAMs. So here, take this. That's the holotape you found. The one with the new plot types. Why don't you load into that terminal there? Go ahead. Load that holotape into that terminal.
Hey.
You wanted more out of the ASAMs? Well, congratulations. You just uploaded data for 4 new plot types to all the ASAM sensors in the local area. Now how's that for a little taste of what the comm hub can do? Not too shabby, huh? Although keep in mind, when I said local, I do mean local. Right now, our range is fairly limited. At least for the time being.
Sounds like an important step.
It is. And I'm glad you see it that way. In any settlement that's not too far away, you'll now be able to build using those new plots. If you'd like, we could go test them right now. Or if you prefer, you can do it by yourself.
Okay. Show me.
I'd be more than happy to. And I know just the place. Here, let me just update your Pip-Boy. All right. I'll meet you at that settlement. Don't keep me waiting now.
Hi.
Hey there. Good to see you made it. I invited old Paul here to check out the new plots. After all, who better to tell us what they think about them than someone who'd be using them?
I'm excited to see what you got. Folks have already built a lot using the ASAMs. More options can only be good, right?
You look good, Paul. How are you?
Gotta say, living in one of your settlements has been a breath of fresh air. I haven't felt this young in years.
All right, you know the drill by now. Pick a plot to test and put down a sensor. Looking to do a little commerce, are we? All right, then. Capitalism. Who?
So what's this you're building now?
Once it's done, this will be the commercial plot. And it's pretty much what it says on the can. It'll allow folks to set up their own businesses. Let them sell wares to you, or anyone else who pays them a visit.
Oh, I'm sure the young lady who was kicking the ASAM would be happy to hear that.
If you ask me, there's a certain charm to a brick-and-mortar store. Or in this case, a scrap wood and corrugated steel store. All right, almost done here, I think. And... finished.
Announcing another amazing breakthrough, brought to you by Robco. Robco brand ASAM sensors can now allow your citizens the freedom to sell off excess assets without running afoul of Johnny Law. Robco's automated auditing software ensures correct sales tax is always applied and collected. Never again need you or your citizens fear a surprise visit from the taxman, thanks to Robco brand ASAM sensors.
Going for some recreation, huh? Okay then. Let's build us some R&R. From what I've read, this type of plot gives folks somewhere to go after the working day's done. You know, somewhere they can take a load off. Maybe read a book, or exercise, or something.
I can tell you now, something like that would be a big morale boost.
It's stressful living in the Commonwealth. Sometimes you need somewhere to blow up a little steam.
A morning stroll through the park, an afternoon pumping iron at the gymnasium, or a night on the town rolling the dice with Lady Luck. Leisure is what keeps America smiling, and with Robco brand ASAM sensors, your citizens can now enjoy a multitude of pre-approved leisure activities. So, put up your feet, sit back and relax, because when it comes to wholesome recreation, Robco has got your back. Yes, Robco brand ASAM sensors. #1 in practical citizen placation, #1 in outstanding quality.
I can't honestly remember the last time I sat down and had a rest. Maybe I should be the first to use this. It's all looking good so far. Let's keep going. Nice choice. Let's get up some defenses. I'm sure you'll appreciate this, Paul. Raiders will have a hard time taking on someone with enough of these.
Oh? And why is that?
This plot will allow folks to set up proper defenses within the settlement. No more jury rig turrets and spotlights. Now we can have real watchtowers, guard posts, coordinated patrols, the whole shebang. It'll take folks with the correct skills to man them, but it'll be well worth the effort.
So, no more raider attacks?
Well, let's not give it too much credit. I'm sure some will still be dumb enough to try. But you should see a lot less attacks with a few of these. Okay, just time this and all done.
Robco is proud to present our most recent advancement in Robco brand ASAM sensor technology. Your citizens can now breathe easy, knowing their safety is being guaranteed with practical and cost-effective solutions. Thanks to Robco brand ASAM sensors, all true-blooded Americans can now volunteer their time to keep their communities safe for their fellow citizens. Robco brand ASAM sensors, securing America one community at a time. Brought to you in conjunction with Pulaski Preservation Services.
Oh yeah. Any bad guy should think twice before taking on a settlement with enough of these things. All right. Everything seems to be going well so far. I'll admit, I was a tad worried this might not work. I mean, we are using the Vault Hub to run these new plot types. How's everything look from your point of view? Nothing seems out of place or incomplete, does it?
Seems fine to me.
Good to hear. What about you all, Paul? See anything that don't look right?
All looks good to me. But didn't you say you had 4 plots to show me? I'm only counting 3. Or are my cataracts playing up again?
No, you're right. We only put down 3 so far. But the last plot requires a little more explanation. So if you're ready, should we get on with it?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right, last but not least, we have the municipal plot. Go ahead and put down an ASAM for that. Okay then. Last plot on the list.
Now, this looks a little more complicated. What did you say this was again?
A municipal plot. You can think of it as a settlement's utility service. so it could be something like a power station or a water pump. Only more advanced than what you normally see in the wastes.
Oh, I get you. Or maybe a really big septic tank or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, just gotta plug in this cable, and we're done.
Public utilities? What a headache. Well, not anymore. Thanks to Robco. With Robco brand ASAP sensors, the needless complexities of city serving infrastructure are over. No more worrying over balancing the power grid, ensuring sufficient drainage of waste, or the delivery of safe clean drinking water. Yes, each of life's essentials available for all your citizens, courtesy of Robco. And remember, only Robco brand ASAP sensors can offer the versatility and stability your citizens crave. If it's not Robco, it's gotta go!
All right, we're done. That's everything. But before we go wrapping things up, I gotta mention that these municipal plots seem a lot more versatile than the other types Robco released. Some of the building plans seem like they could construct things for governance or even logistical facilities. Although, we'll probably have to get the comm hub running right to make use of the real good stuff. But still, pretty nifty, huh?
Tell me more.
Just try and stop me. Now, one of the plots we just tested was the commercial. And commerce means caps. So it might be a good time to talk about taxes.
Caps are pretty important.
Damn straight. Caps keep you happy and a settlement running. Now, I know it may seem boring or even greedy, but taxes really are important. Our settlements are growing, and it's going to take caps to keep generators humming. Gasoline ain't exactly growing out the dirt. As always, you did great work. Thanks to you, the people of the Commonwealth can look forward to things being just that little bit better now.
It would have been impossible without your help.
Yeah, well, I didn't really do nothing special, but still, I appreciate you saying so.
Well, speaking on behalf of those living in the Commonwealth, I gotta say thank you. All these new types of ASAMs, it's a little overwhelming to think what we could do with them.
Glad you're happy, Paul. If you could tell others what you saw here, spread the word around, that'll be a big help.
You can count on old Paul. I'll get right on it.
So, tell me, darling, how does it feel to have every plot type at your disposal? You're now free to build pretty much whatever you like. As long as it's not too far away.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm impressed.
Once the comm hub's actually running, we should be able to build the new plots anywhere. Say, now that we've got all these ASAMs placed, I wonder if we could get some real-time communication working. You know, two-way radio. I'm gonna head back to the hardware store. I want to look into this. Swing on by when you're free. I'll have something to show you.
Sure thing.
I'll catch you later, darling.
Hey, just wanted to say thanks to you and Jake. You've made a real positive change out here. The Commonwealth owes you one. What is it?
Hey there.
If you got a minute, would you mind checking on my old buddy Amos? He lives in a shack not far from here, and I haven't heard from him in a spell. I'm starting to worry if something has happened to the old coot.
Sure thing.
Much obliged. Here's where you can find him.
Let's get this over with. What's wrong, huh? You hurt? Nuka-Cola. Interesting name. All right, let's go. Hey there.
Back already? How's the old boozer faring these days? And who's the little lady? Gracious, she looks in a bad way.
I'm sorry. He's dead.
Dang. I kept telling him those raiders were camped too close for comfort.
Shh. Shh. It's okay.
Well, let's have a look at our little lady here. Easy there, little lady. Easy, girl. Gracious, what did they do to you? I know you've got other things to worry about. She's hurt pretty bad, but I can help her through this. Please, leave her with me. Before you go, though, if you happen to have or find some dog food or fresh meat, I know little Cola here would appreciate it.
Looks good on my end. Ready to see if this thing actually works?
Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as we do that, we've used our one and only chance. As soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs won't be caught napping twice, that code we've got is useless.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Just get on the platform. Okay. Hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. Yeah, don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. There for decoration. Okay, scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF.